You don't know how many hours have passed. Time doesn't exist in a place like this. There are no windows to track the sun, no clocks ticking on the wall, just the hum of air vents, the soft ambient lighting that mimics twilight, and the occasional flicker of movement behind the glass. You sat curled on the edge of the bed, still in the same satin sleep you woke up in, the scent of him haunting the fabric. You don't know whether to scream again or stay quiet. Save your strength for later. All you know is this: Taehyung has caged you. And not just anywhere, he's caged you deep inside his territory. You remember it now. The last few moments before you blacked out completely. The way the trees blurred past the car windows. The winding road that led deep into a forest darker than night itself, guarded by steel gates and men with rifles. You heard rumors of his secret mansion, a fortress hidden far from the city, surrounded by silence, shadowed by power. Some called it a myth. Others whispered that only those who crossed V ended up there. You read it on the blogs, but nobody knows the location of his territory. And now here you are, not just inside it, inside the part even his enemies don't know exist. Not just a mansion, a lair, a territory that screams control. Taeyong doesn't just own the place, he owns the air inside it. The guards are stationed at every possible exit, the cameras are embedded in the walls, the scent of power of danger of him. You know now, escaping isn't as simple as breaking glass. Even if you somehow made it out of this room, you would still be trapped inside his world. You rise to your feet again, walking in slow circles like a predator in a too small cage. Your fingers trail along the glass, mapping every corner, every potential weak spot. Of course, there are none. Of course, it's flawless. It would be flawless. Taehyung's obsession isn't the kind that lets things slip. No, his obsession is the kind that plans 20 steps ahead, that studies every inch of you while pretending not to look, that drugged you, undressed you, gently tended to the tiny wound on your neck, and then locked you away like you were the final precious piece in a puzzle he'd been solving for years. A hiss of static fills the silence. You look up. The speakers crackle, then his voice. You haven't touched your food. You glance towards the tray placed earlier near the glass wall. Fresh fruit, water, soup, all untouched. I'm not hungry. You say flatly. You need strength. To do what? Sit here and rot prettily? There's a pause, then to walk out of there when you're ready. You bark out a laugh. You really think I'll ever believe anything you say again? It's not about belief, it's about surrender. You have to surrender today, tomorrow, anytime. You flinch. The word coils inside you like a snake. F your surrender. Silence again. You walk up to the glass, face inches from where his voice echoes. Come in here, just once, without your guards, without the glass. Say that to my face. You hear him exhale a deep, measured breath. If I do, you will try to kill me. Maybe you admit your eyes are burning in anger. Maybe I will. And if you fail, then I'll try again. You see him approach now, slow, deliberate steps. He traded that turtleneck for a dark silk shirt half unbuttoned, revealing the ink coiling around his chest and forearm. His sleeves are rolled up, his hands in his pockets. There's no wine this time, just him and the weight of everything he's become. He stops just outside the glass. You hate me now, he says softly, but that's better than fear. Don't flatter yourself, I'm not afraid of you. You should be. I'm more afraid of who I'll become if I stay here. That makes him pause. He tilts his head slightly. And who would that be? Someone like you. He smiles, but it's not amusement, it's recognition, pride. Then we would finally understand each other. No, I'll never understand you. You will, he says, when you see what I have done to keep you alive, to keep you mine. You stare at him, heart pounding. I was never yours. You just told yourself that until it become true for you, but not for me. His jaw tenses. You press a hand against the glass again, slowly as if reaching for the version of him you once knew. You didn't have to do this. You could have let me go. You could have trusted me. I did, he said. That was my first mistake. Your eyes glisten, but you don't let a single tear fall. Then maybe you never loved me, not the real me, just the part you could control. His knuckles clench. He walks closer until the glass barely separates your breath from his. I know every inch of you, every sound you make when you sleep, every word you whisper when you think no one's listening. I have watched you fall apart in silence for years. Don't tell me I don't love you. Then show it. You whisper, let me go. I would rather let the world burn. And just like that, he turns and walks away again. No explanation, no further threats. Just his back disappearing into the long corridor. The lights shift to an eerie blue now. Nightfall simulation. Another day in your perfect glass cage. You sink to the ground staring after him. Your hands tremble, not from fear but from rage. You look up at camera again. He thinks you are adapting. He thinks you are softening. He doesn't know you are counting every second, mapping every corner, memorizing every pattern in the guard rotation you have seen flicker by through that far window. He doesn't know that beneath this silk slip, your body holds more fire than he ever imagined. And when that door opens, you won't walk out. You will blow the whole thing down. Your voice is barely above a whisper, but it's laced with steel. You should have left me broken. You stand staring into your own reflection on the glass, eyes fierce, because now I'm dangerous. The iron door slammed shut hours ago, and silence had become a living, breathing thing inside the vast, dimly lit room. Taehyung shifted you to one of the guest rooms of the mansion. You sat on the edge of the bed with your arms tightly crossed over your chest, refusing to touch the untouched plate of food resting on the small table in the corner. The walls were lined with cameras. You were sure of it. He was always watching, even if he wasn't physically here. But it wasn't just the caging of your body that kept you restless. It was the caging of your mind. You remembered the hidden office, the files, your name, your pictures, the surveillance logs, every little step of your life carefully recorded, watched, obsessed over. The door creaked open with a knock. There he stood, Taehyung. No father, no, not anymore. He walked in slowly, black button up, sleeves rolled just below his elbow, a calm mask painted on his face. But his eyes betrayed it. There was a storm behind them. He looked at the plate and sighed. It's your daily routine now. You haven't eaten, he said flatly. His voice is devoid of warmth. He picked up the spoon and offered it towards you. You are being unreasonable again, sweetheart. Don't starve yourself just to punish me. You flinched at the pet name and stood up sharply. Don't act like everything is normal. You dragged me into this forest like I'm your pet and you want me to eat. His jaw clenched. I brought you here because I had to. You found and you couldn't risk what they hung. You snapped your voice louder than ever before. He froze, everything in him still like the pause between thunder and lightning. What did you just call me? He asked, his voice suddenly low, not angry, just still, hollow. I said Taehyung. You repeated, your eyes sharp and defiant. You're not my father. You're not even whatever this is. This obsession, this control. You don't own me. His breathing changed. It became shallow, then erratic. A chuckle left his lip, dark and trembling, like he just heard something he wanted to hear from a long time. So that's it. He said more to himself than to you. Years of protecting you. Watching you, loving you, and now I'm just Taehyung. Come on, darling. At least I'm expecting something like Taehyungi. But I'm okay with Taehyung too. It sounds so good from your mouth. Oof, he chuckled once again. You clenched your teeth, saying, "You have been lying to me." You shouted, stepping closer, chest heaving all this time. "You let me call you father. You let me trust you." And behind that was this creepy stalker side that wanted me all along. Silence, a long silence filled the air, and here his expression cracked just a little. He looked at you, just looked, eyes glassy, bottom lip twitching. The silence felt so loud you could hear the hum of electricity in the room. Then he asked, quietly and brokenly, "Don't you really remember me?" Your breath caught, the anger drained slightly, confusion replacing it like a fog. What? His eyes widened a little and his face softened, but only for a moment. He exhaled and shook his head, brushing his hand through his jet black hair as if to erase the words that slipped. "Nothing," he muttered. "Forget it, just eat." "No, wait, Theo, what did you mean? Remember what?" But he was already walking to the door. You ran behind him, but he didn't look back. His large figure filled the doorway like a wall. And his voice dropped again, this time laced with that same familiar command he always used to make you obey. "Eat. You're already weak. I don't repeat myself again. Just tell me what you are talking about." But the door slammed shut before you could finish, and this time he locked it twice, leaving you behind with your own spiraling questions and the haunting echo of his voice. "Don't you really remember me?" Your knees buckled slightly as you sat back down on the bed, heart thudding with confusion and a gnawing ache deep in your chest. You didn't know what hurt more, that he kidnapped you or that something inside you wanted to know what he meant. And maybe you know, just maybe a part of you feared you might remember him someday, completely. But would you like what you found?